Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This is the second part of the return on investment video which I recently made. If you haven't watched that video, obviously I'm going to leave the link in the description. Go check it out for sure. Now, there were a couple of things which I said wrong or people have corrected me, and I always appreciate if I miss something because I'm already researching so many things, and there is a difference of somebody who did this 2 years ago and somebody who's doing it right now. So first of all, University of Florida's fees was different. I posted this number, it was actually this much. And also the service fee, instead of 170 or something, now the service fee has increased to 340. I also mentioned that the TOEFL cost is $170. Somebody corrected me that it's $180. So yeah, just wanted to make some corrections. If you see any other corrections in this video or in the last video, let me know. Again, all of the link are in the description. All right, let's just talk about it. So in the last video, I talked about what are the costs of studying in the US. We talked about the university fees, the application, the travel you're gonna do, GRE cost, visa cost, TOEFL cost, sending the applications cost, getting your I-20 cost, and what are the living expenses going to be in different cities, and we covered a lot of universities in that. Now here, what you see on the screen is the complete equation which I came up with. As you can see, there is pre-university cost. Everything in red is cost, whereas everything in green is profit or money you're gonna make. So for example, the pre-university cost is application costs and travel, that's $1,650 and $1,500. We got it out of the way, that's $3,150. And I have taken into account that you're paying much more for service fee than I was paying before. The university, I'm taking into account that you're doing 3 sems, because in the case of 3 semesters, you can do internship and you can do a co-op as well. We just want to take, in somewhat sense, worst case scenario, but we also want to consider that, hey, you can work an internship and a co-op, that's summers and a semester, and you can make some money back. And post-university, that's going to be your salary and your loan payback. As you can see right here, in the university time, I have taken into account university fees, your living for 12 months, internship and co-op, which is going to be your salary, living during internship and co-op, that's 7 months, 3 months for the internship during the summer and 4 months for the co-op during the semester, and also part-time job salary, because why not? I have taken into account that everyone almost is going to do at least 10 hours of work, because that's still doable if you're doing a course within 1.5 years of time frame. Now in this video, I'm going to be a bit honest with you. I'm just going to be a little blatant about things, and I'm going to talk about the salaries, how much people are making in computer science and industrial and mechanical or in MIS. But I'm also going to talk about what if you do your construction management degree in a very expensive university and you don't get a very high paying job. How you're going to pay it back, and what is going to be your monthly payment terms, and how much interest you're going to pay, because I don't think a lot of people know that. I have a list of the salaries. Let me talk it out. I don't remember exactly, so I've taken an upper limit and a lower limit. From a small city in Alabama to a big city like New York or San Francisco, I've taken into account that, hey, this is the average amount of money which somebody who has 0 to 3 years of experience would be making. Obviously, there are outliers who would be making 150K plus or even less money because they didn't get a job and they had to get any kind of job which they could get after work. So let's start with IT. You would make anywhere between 65,000 US dollars to 90,000. Robotics anywhere between 80 to 120,000. Mechanical would be 60,000 to 85,000 dollars. MIS would be 60 to 120,000. MBA would be anywhere between 100K to 200K. Actually, let's put 100K to 80K, because some of the MBA graduates make less money depending upon their experience. Business analytics, same, anywhere between 65 to 110. Electrical, 60 to 80. Industrial engineering, again 60 to 80. Computer science, anywhere between 65 to 120. I know a couple of people who are working in small cities and they're making 65. Again, it's a good salary if you're living in a small place and you don't have much going on in that, and your rent is not that much, your cost of living is not that much. Uh, when we come to civil, it's probably the lowest paying industry. So architecture person makes 45 to 75,000. Construction management can make anywhere between 55,000 or 50,000 to 85, 90 if you're in New York. Now, again, these are the estimates which I came up with. I talked to a couple of my friends, hey, how much do you make per hour? Or how much do you think you would be making after your graduation? And these are the numbers which I came with. These numbers are just for your reference. These are not as important as you would think. But what I'll take an example of Columbia, and I'll take an example of somebody who has construction management degree, and run the numbers with you and explain it to you. If you have the numbers in your mind of the degree which you're planning to do, you can do the same exercise and do the same calculation as I would do, and get a better estimate of how much you're going to pay for your US education. Now, what I have done right here is I have written everything down and I've done all the calculations, but I'm gonna run you through it. In the last video, we talked about how much you're going to spend in pre-university, in application and travel, and that's pretty much common for all of the people. We're going to take an example here. We're going to take a student who's doing a degree, let's say in civil engineering, and who is in Columbia University. The reason why I'm taking Columbia is because we're taking the worst case scenarios. Like, you're putting down a lot of money, but there is a chance that you wouldn't make that much money. So let's say you do a degree. Let's say you're living in New York, and your apartment plus groceries plus travel and everything comes down to $1,400 per month. Your groceries could be less, so I'm taking $1,400 as an upper limit. So 1,400 into 12 months. The reason why I have 12 months right here is because every semester is 4 months. So 3 semesters, that's 12 months. We come up with the number $16,800. Now this is cost. Let's say that you're doing a part-time job. You're doing a 10 hours per week job, and you're making $12 per hour. It could be the case that you would be making a bit more if you're doing a greater job, and it could be the case that you're making a bit less. That could be $10 per hour. Let's say you're doing 10 hours per week, because it's a reasonable amount of time everybody can work that much. You're making $480 per month, and that's into 12 is $5,760. Again, this is cash inflow. Now your internship salary. So let's say you got an internship, and let's say you're still working in New York. You're doing a civil engineering degree, and construction or architecture grads do not make that much money, so they would get paid anywhere between $28 to $30 max, even if they are in New York. It could be even less than that. And some of the interns, what they do is they make a bit more money when they're doing extra time. So if you're doing extra time, you get hour and a half pay. So instead of that 30, you would make $45 per hour. What we have done is we have taken $28 per hour, and since you're in internship, you can work 40 hours per week instead of the 20 hours per week you were working during the university. 28 hours, 40 hours per week, that's 160 hours per month. That equates to $4,480 per month for 7 months. That totals up to $31,360 US. Now, while you're at the internship, you'll still spend some money. And what we have assumed here is that you're still living in New York and you're still spending $1,400 per month. Now, since you have the internship, you probably would spend more than $1,400 or around $1,400. So you're paying for apartment plus groceries plus miscellaneous plus travel, and you're making $1,400 plus or minus. 1,400 into 7 is 9,800. That's cost. Now let's look at the equation I came up with. We have the university fees. That is going to be $84,912 for 3 semesters. Again, you can save a bit of money here if you do less credits in the last semester. I made a video upon that. I'm going to leave that link in the description. But let's say you spend $84,912. You have living expenses, that is $16,800 for the 12 months of the year for 3 semesters. You have part-time salary, 10 hours per week, $12 per hour. That is $5,760. I've subtracted that from the equation. We have the internship salary, that is going to be $31,360. Again, subtracting, we have the internship living cost, that's going to be the plus. So that's $9,800. The total cost for 1.5 years of your education, or 2 years of whole period where you're doing internship and a co-op as well, that comes about to be $74,392. This is plus or minus. It is usually less than that, but again, we have taken the worst case scenarios, and that's why it comes to $74,392. What we're going to do right now is we're going to open EMI calculator and check how much you're going to pay. And I might be wrong, because what usually happens is people don't start paying up until 2.5 years. So 2 years of their education and 6 months you get between when your payments start, and that's how Indian banks work. But you're still accruing interest on the amount, and we're looking at big picture here. We're looking at whole numbers. We're looking at numbers in general. I'm not going to get in nitty-gritty, because the interest will only be applied on the principal amount. So for example, let's say I've taken $20,000 in my first semester. So the 10% interest is only going to be applied on that 15,000. So that adds up and then adds up. But what we are going to do is we are just going to run the numbers here. So let's say you have $74,390 and you have interest rate of 10%, and let's say you have 5 years of loan. The lesser the number of years, the better it is for you, because you're paying less amount of loan. So the monthly payment comes down to be 1580.61. Your total repayment comes out to be 94,836, and the total interest, the amount of money you're paying extra to the bank, is 20,444. Now let's see if we change the loan terms. Let's say we change the loan terms to 8 years. Okay. We just change the loan terms to 8 years, and the monthly payments are reduced. It's only $1128 now. It's a bit easier for you to pay back now, but your interest rate has gone up a lot. That's 33,976.3 instead of the 24,444 you were paying before. That's $13,000 extra you're going to pay if you add 3 years to your loan payback period. Now, I'm not trying to scare you again. I'm just trying to educate you as much as I can, because let's say that electrical engineering or civil, whatever, I just don't want to make the civil guys feel bad because they make the least money, but electrical or civil or mechanical, they probably make the same amount. So let's assume that he got a job in San Francisco and he is making $78,000 per year. Now this is pre-tax income. If you want to check how much you're going to make post-tax calculator, we're going to check post-tax calculator. So what we are going to do is put down a number. So let's say 78,000, and you're living in San Francisco. Come on. So what it shows here, semi-monthly, that is bi-weekly income, that is 2271. Post-tax income, that is take home, and if we multiply into 2271 star 2, that comes about 4542. Now we know that this person is going to pay $1,400 in rent. He's going to pay $600 in groceries. That's $2,000 gone right there. And we know that he's paying $74,392 back, so he's going to pay $1,128. That comes up to $3,128. So honestly, from his 4542, he's not saving that much. He's saving over $1,000 per month. And I'm telling you, it's not only $600. There's extra charges. You want to buy something, sometimes you buy a car, sometimes you travel. All of these things add up, and he might be saving not more than $500 in some cases. Now, why I did this calculation was, I want to tell you that it doesn't make sense to go to such a expensive university if you know that your industry is not as high paying as computer science or IT or as MS in data analytics, because those guys will be making anywhere between $100,000 to $120,000. Again, just a thought, think about it. I'm going to leave all these links in the description. send me questions, because I'm really curious what questions you have, and I think there's a third video which will be coming up about those questions. But thank you so much guys for watching this one. I hope you liked it. I hope you had fun watching it. Leave a like if you liked it. Drop a comment. We'll make a third part of it. And again, thank you so much for watching. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.